Well, thanks for checking out Taste This. Today gets a little interesting. We're going to continue our whiskey mashup by pitting Old Forester Single Barrel Proof against Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. I'm pretty excited about it. It's a little bit of a high octane battle, so let's get into it. So I like a little bit higher proof bourbons. Today we're going to ramp that up a little bit. I got two barrel proofs here. The Old Forester Barrel Proof, it's single barrel, and Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. They're a little bit hard to find around here, so when I see them, I snatch them up, and I probably overpaid a little bit for them, but more about that in a second. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the future videos that we do. We're just getting started around here, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So let's get into it. Old Forester Barrel Proof. Old Forester used to have a 90 proof version, along with all of their other offerings, but they eliminated it a few years ago and replaced it with this and a 100 proof bottle. The mash bill on this is 72% corn, it's 18% rye, and then there's 10% malted barley in there. It's 127.9 proof, and it's not age stated. The barrel strength bourbon is kind of aged in a heated warehouse, a weather controlled warehouse, so that in the winters, what they do, they take the warehouse and they'll heat it up. I think they give like the barrels a steam bath at like 70 degrees, and they say that kind of adds age to the bourbon. So instead of like a year for every year that it's aged, they claim that they can get another like half a year to 2 years. So instead of a barrel being 4 years old, tasting like 4 years, they think they could make a barrel taste 6 or 8 years old, even though it's only been in the barrel for 4 years. I don't know if that's really works or not, but it seems like every bourbon company kind of has a trick up their sleeve. I paid about $95 for this locally. I'm not sure what it'll be for you where you live. Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, they use MGP juice, and then they age it locally in around Las Vegas. They wanted to be a craft distillery, but local laws kind of prevented them from both sourcing bourbon and distilling their own, so they had to make a choice. And I think the MGP juice worked really well for them. They built a pretty good brand on MGP juice and aging it out in Vegas. So this is 116.72 proof. I think that's what it says on the bottle. Well, it says it's 58.36% alcohol, so whatever. 116.72 proof, 117 proof. And it's about $90 near Chicago, or at least wherever I can find it. I paid $90 or $100 for it. So let's do a taste here. So there's a little bit of cherry in there. There's some sweetness, maybe a little bit of oak. You can smell the alcohol on it, but it's not overpowering. And certainly for the proof level, the nose doesn't overwhelm you. So that's kind of nice. So on the palate, there's some nuttiness, some leather, some oak in there, and I get like a dark cherry or a fruit thing going on. The heat comes through here really. It almost made my eyes water. But there's a lot of flavor notes, but it's really not as complex as it sounds. All those flavors kind of hit you at once, and maybe it's that alcohol that just kind of pops on you. But the finish, there's some pepper. It's definitely hot. And maybe a nuttiness to it as well a little bit, but it just doesn't linger. It's kind of there and gone. So the nose is very nice. I'm going to give that a 6. The palate, I'm going to give a 5. And on the finish, I got to give it a 4. It's kind of a weak finish, and that'll give me a 16 for the Old Forester. Let's give this Smoke Wagon a little bit of a taste here. So on the nose, I get some caramel, some cinnamon, there's some rye in there, a little bit of fruit, and I can catch kind of an oakiness to it. And again, this one, or not an oak, I have some oakiness, but I get an orange in it as well. It's not as heavy on the nose from an alcohol standpoint either. Both of these, I think they're very balanced, and so the alcohol doesn't really come through on the nose. Let's give it a taste here. Okay, so it's sweet, it's fruity, a little bit of leather and oak. There's some rye spice in there, but it's just got such a nice, there's a very nice buttery mouthfeel on this. The finish moves to kind of a leather and oak, a little cherry in it in the end. This one hangs around a little longer than Old Forester. I also think maybe there's a smoky flavor to it, but that could be my imagination because it's called Smoke Wagon. Really, this one is far smoother than it ought to be for how high, you know, the proof is on it. The nose, I'm going to call the nose a 5. Palate, it really drinks well. I'm going to give that a 7. And the finish, I'll give that a 5 as well because I like that little bit longer finish that it comes with. So that has a total of a 17. They're really good, both pretty good. Old Forester is just fine. Other than the high proof, it's a little bit forgettable, but I like making old fashions with this. I think this is a really nice bourbon to make an old fashioned with it because it's got that proof, you know, that alcohol that'll still kind of have a little bit of a bite to it, a little bit of a rye in there too. I think that comes out in the old fashioned. So if I was going to be making drinks, I'd love to make them with the Old Forester. Smoke Wagon, it might not be for everyone, but I think it's a fantastic high proof bourbon. The aging process for Old Forester might make it a little bit harsher. That really high proof, what did we say it was? This one comes in at 127 proof. That might also be making it a little harsher. So Smoke Wagon got a 17. Old Forester got a 15. So Smoke Wagon takes it. Old Forester will move to the secondary bracket. And they're both great bourbons. I guess, you know, I would go with a Smoke Wagon. You'll have to decide which one you like yourself. But that's it. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.